It's kind of infuriating that in the age of all of our information being right at our fingertips, and also being the age of globalization, people still don't know jack donkeys about the planet that we live on. I've always been a bit of a geography nerd, so whenever I'd overhear such a gross lack of intellect on the subject at hand, it would get my blood boiling. And when I was in middle school, I used to be super cringe about it. I'd be like,
well, you're actually talking about a common misconception.
And I guess that's kind of what I'm doing in this video, isn't it? Anyways, I'm just going to start with my first entry. The Horn of Africa. A lot of people for some reason think that the Horn of Africa is referring to the entire south coast of Africa. And here's Rhett McLaughlin from Rhett and Link making this mistake.
In False Bay near Cape Town, South Africa.
So we're talking about the Horn of Africa, like the southernmost point in Africa, which it's down there. It's cold. It's getting cold down there. And
no, you're wrong, Rhett. I love the show, but I needed to use a clip in order to prove I wasn't making this up. So if you're like Rhett and don't know where the Horn of Africa is, well, it's right here. Here's a photorealistic view of it. Do you see how it kind of looks like a rhinoceros horn? And look, it's not just some random chunk of land. It's the gateway to arguably the most important seafaring trade route of all time, as it connects the Indian Ocean to the Red Sea. Yes, that Red Sea. So when someone says the Horn of Africa, just remember that it's right there and not down here. Just think Red Sea and rhinoceros horn. Okay, got it? On to the next one. Britain versus England. This among Americans is one of the most common mistakes I've ever heard. Contrary to popular usage of the two words, Britain and England cannot be used interchangeably, because Britain, more specifically Great Britain, is a unified state of Scotland, Wales, and England. And England just simply is England. There's no catch with that one. Now you may be wondering, well, I've heard of the United Kingdom, what's that? Well, the United Kingdom, or the UK for short, is more of a political term than it is a geographic term. United Kingdom is Great Britain, which you already know about, and a little chunk of Ireland called Northern Ireland. Yep, that's really it. That's the only distinction. And the reason why the United Kingdom has a chunk of Ireland is because of some wars here and there. I don't want to open that can of worms because this is a video about geography, not a history lesson. Alright, and number 3 is the Mercator projection. Alright, this one's more of a general misunderstanding than it is a mistake, but I still think it's worth being on this list. In geography, one of the most important tools is to have a map. But most maps, especially the cheap ones, are incredibly misleading. The Mercator projection is a style of mapping which the world as we know it is shoved into a rectangular shape. And this causes a problem because obviously the Earth is round and a rectangle is obviously not. So it's going to be expected that there's going to be some distortion. Now the land that's towards the equator are pretty accurate on the Mercator projection, but the land that's at the top of the bottom of the globe gets absolutely stretched out. The most infamous example is the fact that on a Mercator projection, Greenland is bigger than Africa, but this is actually what Greenland looks like. I mean, if you do the research, you can see that Greenland has a land area per square mile of 836,000, whereas Africa has a land area of 11.73 million. So yeah, it's not even close. So what can you do to avoid these bad maps? Well, to be completely honest, the whole idea of a map is obsolete. And almost all navigation is digital. So don't be ashamed of using Google Maps or Google Earth just because it's not traditional. But hypothetically, let's say that you need a flat surface to be put on a map. Then it's preferred to use the Robinson projection, as it factors the roundness of our planet. Now it's not perfect or anything because it's impossible to accurately portray a round object on a flat surface, but it's 10 times better than the Mercator projection. Anyways, that's about does it for this video. Let me know if you want me to do more geography related videos, because it's my favorite subject other than soccer, but most people don't care about that.